Endpoint in a grand finals. It's something we've never seen before.
Yeah, I would actually be okay with it as well. I think Endpoint have coming up here and definitely rocked the boat a little bit, and I dare say they would have earned their way to the grand finals, especially against a team like Dignitas, but I feel much like that Renault Vitality series, this one's a marathon, and that best of 7 is going to play a little bit more favors for Dignitas as they'll have more time to get accustomed to that demo-heavy approach, and we have to even see if Endpoint continue to do that since it got shut down so hard versus Renault Vitality.
Oh, this is the three-man effort. Not enough. No, Virtuoso gets in the way. A wonderful fake to get past one, a pop over the second, and then Virtuoso up against all three Dignitas players, manages to find a save/clear, and then Virtuoso finds a bump. Does he find two? No, Violent Panda comes out, gets the block, and will stay scoreless, but both teams' play styles coming out strong here in the first minute of Game 1.
And it would definitely appear that Virtuoso not cowed by Alpha 54, picking them apart in the previous series. Had some time to get their wits about them and prepare for this matchup. And Dignitas hopefully able to really be locked in after a bit of a slow start in the previous series. And so far, definitely having to play a lot of defense, and I think that's normal. When you see this Endpoint team for the first time, Astral trying to get creative, but at first touch, just a little too hard. Yukio comes through and Relating Wave, able to hop up and make the save.
Oh, that was so good. A wonderful stop on the goal line, and then some fakes. You see the defenders bite. Yukio comes in just to send the easy shot, and the defender still gets up in the way. Relating Wave strong on the defense. Again, while the score is 0-0, it has not been for lack of excitement here. Both teams with opportunities. Yukio, another pass over to Astral. Upper 90, blocked by Relating Wave again. This player already here has 2 saves to his name. Barely a minute and a half in. Relating Wave now looking for the first goal, just too high. Astral will send it away. Metanaris has to retreat onto defense with Astral breathing down his neck here in the corner. He'll get it over the top of him and then look to see if he can get the setup here for Violent Panda. Looking at it, everybody just flopping around the ball. Yukio's got a half flip in midfield just to block as Relating Wave finds the clear and looks for the counterattack.
And there are so many people in this game who would have just given a lot of respect to Astral as he pumps one down to the other end of the field. But that little short hop right in front of the goal there to see if he can get the defense to make a mistake. Oh, man, Relating Wave, he was one of my favorite players on this Endpoint roster throughout all of RLCS this past season. And the fact that he's not even a little bit worried about what Astral can do with ball control that close to the net and still make a great stop is fascinating.
Wow. Wins the 50-50 challenge against him there and then pops the ball over Astral. Relating Wave doing a lot of work here for Endpoint on the defensive side of things. We've crossed halftime. The pace has slowed down just a little bit. The ball is maintained a little bit more midfield presence here, but the infield pass to Yukio will draw first blood, and that's Dignitas on the board.
And that goes back to Violent Panda. Right before he got that touch, he stole away that corner boost. That meant that the person right next to the play didn't have the ability to catch back up to it as it rolls up the wall. He gets it out into the middle. There's space to work with because Endpoint is playing behind that first man that lost the boost to Violent Panda. They execute the pass and nail the shot.
2:05 left to go. Endpoint now trailing by 1. Relating Wave to the edge, and Astral chooses the boost over the pass. Yukio now into the corner. Off the woodwork and then back away. Astral to his own corner. Soft touch, Relating Wave with the read, and with a little bit of boost here, you can try to find Metanaris. Here's the pass down. Mets comes in for it, but Yukio gets in there first. Gets the block. Now Yukio out, and Violent Panda wants to fall back. Didn't like the idea of cherry picking or going for bumps. Now through 2, Astral keeping this on his hood, a little bit low on boost though. The pitch will go straight to Violent Panda, and he's got half a tank. Yukio now rotating back, Astral trying to move up, but Yukio actually cuts him off. Now Astral caught a weird spot, the half rotation maybe screws him here, and Relating Wave ties the game.
That's now been a couple times. This time it's Yukio who's trying to figure out how to get the mind game going, but that goes back to Astral trying to get a little creative with the dribble, and again, Endpoint just come in, take the ball off his hood, and unfortunately Yukio wasn't able to regain ball control. And Relating Wave, having a 500-point game, by the way, with a minute remaining, is able to win the race back the other way.
It kind of puts Astral in this super awkward situation where I'm not actually sure that ball was in without Astral's touch there. Possibly a forced own goal situation, and it ties the game against Dignitas. Now here comes Metanaris to look to take the lead just a bit wide. Virtuoso putting some pressure on Violent Panda. Panda has to play it across his net, but Metzenar's already with the read. Oh, it was wide again. Virtuoso gets one demolition. Here comes Relating Wave to the far side. 2 defenders, and it doesn't matter. That's the lead for Endpoint.
And Relating Wave, he is happy to take the cleanup opportunity. There's that demo from Virtuoso, makes the defense panic, and the change up to the back post. All at Dignitas, they saw that demo come through, and they all go, oh boy, here we go. And they try and make the defensive stop. Relating Wave, presence of mind to go behind him. A late lead, but not so. Yukio off the kickoff is able to squeeze one by the defender.
They win the kickoff here, and kind of almost it's just the single cheat up from Yukio. He reads that well, understanding that the player who went on kickoff was going to get a second touch, positions for the pass, and gets the quick equalizer. Now here comes Astral with 45 seconds remaining. What's been a very even game. Again, a best of 7 here as we are into finals territory. The winner of this match plays in the grand finals against Vitality to become the European Spring Series champion. Astral drops it to Yukio. To the far side, Violent Panda now. There's a demolition. Yukio to the edge. Astral takes it off of his hood, and Metzenars gets onto the backboard in time. Yukio wasn't really in position to make the shot either way, but with the play away now, Yukio onto the back again. Relating Wave to toss it to a teammate. Metzenars and Virtuoso will work all 3 players just to get it to the front of their back third. Metzenars out of the edge with 3 seconds left. Time is up. They got to keep it in the air. Yukio will get 1 touch on it, but Virtuoso now to the far side. Violent Panda is not going to be able to keep it up. But we'll have overtime in game number 1 between Dignitas and Endpoint.
And what a massive equalizer off that kickoff from Yukio, but first chance to Endpoint.
Relating Wave with the demolition opens up the 2v3 for a moment. Relating Wave with the shot off the pass from Virtuoso, and that's a 9-second overtime to give Endpoint game number 1.
That demo in the midfield creates the opportunity for Metza to get that first touch, but more importantly, that critical second block to put Dignitas in a terrible spot. And it goes right over their heads off the backboard because they're off grabbing boost, and that's the danger of the kickoff. If it goes just a few degrees off of where you're expecting while you're off grabbing boost, it can turn into a disaster. Metz doesn't get credit for the assist, but he makes the critical block, and Virtuoso and Relating Wave, who ended with 300 extra score in a minute and 20 seconds, had himself a game.
He's almost to he's 150 away from 1,000, which is substantial, especially since they made the change a few seasons back. They kind of cut all the numbers in half there, but 3 goals, 4 saves, 5 shots, substantial shots there from Relating Wave. And not only does he get the winning goal, he also got the demolition that paved the way to get them there. So Relating Wave doing all the work here. 2 of the 3 goals he scored, we saw defenders kind of going up in the X formation, back flipping to try and get in. He's just shooting it straight through the middle on them. It was amazing to watch that man play and to bamboozle a team that has been so strong on defense for so long.
Yeah, and the big thing is that Relating Wave was able to pick up a lot of slack in this game. I think Metzenars had a couple of big opportunities to put balls away into the back of the goal. And unfortunately, they didn't get there, but Relating Wave was able to come up big, put in those big shots, and come out with a nice Game 1 win here in Dignitas, and what is a very important tone setter, because they got absolutely steamrolled in games 2 through 5 of that Vitality series. So to come out here and have Relating Wave pop off in a big way and start off the series on the right foot is a very good thing for Endpoint, and I want to see him keep it up.
Well, we did hear from Violent Panda earlier in his interview that the teams they feel like they struggle against are the teams that are more ball chasey, more they don't follow the standard normal conventions of Rocket League, was kind of the message I took from that interview. And Endpoint is a team that is
certainly not doing that.
They are definitely changing this. So this is going to be a more difficult matchup for Dignitas, and how they learn to adjust to the Virtuoso Destruction Derby. It's going to be fun to watch here.
Oh, they got
the game was even. They get that goal, I think, came about as far away as possible.
It definitely is kind of just poked up the field from Relating Wave, and that demo as Virtuoso is rotating back on that third man who's about to size up the challenge. He catches Astral. He's kind of waiting off on the opposite end of the net, expecting that challenge from that teammate that got demoed to go out to the opposite side, and he's expecting to be able to block perhaps a weak clear attempt and keep possession, but that demo opens up an open goal.
Endpoint is playing so wonderfully right now. that kickoff super clean, gave themselves a really nice dunk opportunity. They nearly got the dunk on the aerial clear as well. No goal for it just yet, but they do have the lead here in game number 1. Some bumps in net from Violent Panda. Relating Waves able to detach from that and get up and find a clear. And now on the other end, Virtuoso looking for the counterattack. Gets onto the back wall. Metzenar is demolished, though, means there won't be a follow-up shot. Relating Wave now having to play defense in the midfield. Virtuoso trying to cause some chaos on his rotation back in. And that'll actually leave Metzenar a little bit isolated. Virtuoso does get back there in time, but the rotation's not super clean. They managed to get away. Metzenar is now onto the backboard, and Violent Panda will play to the corner to Yukio. Up against Virtuoso, it'll pinch into the midfield. Violent Panda, nice long touch to the enemy corner. Now in front of the goal, Relating Wave will get there before Yukio can make contact. Astral coming in into the corner, saying, can he find Violent Panda onto the backboard, into the box? Violent Panda not willing to crash it. There will be no goal just yet for Dignitas.
And you can feel Dignitas trying to up the pace, and there's the passing 1-2. Yukio gets it back down to Violent Panda after he digs this one out of the corner. And Relating Wave and Virtuoso, they're definitely respecting the shot, but having that camera pan back over your shoulder, you've got no idea where Violent Panda is putting that ball, and the captain nailed it.
I think there must have been a lack of boost on the side of Endpoint there as the ball kind of pinched off the goal out in front, just hung in the air in front of their net, neither defender wanting to challenge it. Endpoint leave the passing lanes open. Dignitas takes advantage of it. Tie game, game 2. Relating Wave now in the midfield. Astral to the sky. He's got one player to work with in the mid. Here he comes for the shot. Relating Wave will get the block that was wide anyways. Now Metzenaris on the counterattack, muscles it through one, looks for a second block on Violent Panda, and Relating Wave will come in to help him out.
That misdirection between Yukio and Astral as they went for that ball in the midfield, I think that's a very powerful tool against a team like Endpoint, where they constantly have those isolated defenders constantly playing 1v1s, 2-on-1s, but thankfully that ball for Dignitas pinged off the crossbar of their goal. And if they keep going for those little mix-up approaches as Violent Panda hit that ball, what?
And Astral now with the carry to the far end. Virtuoso will get in the way. Violent Panda now. More pressure. Relating Wave in his own corner. Tries to get it out. Metzenaris looking for it. Pops straight up in the midfield. Astral and Virtuoso both challenging. Astral's there first, and Violent Panda now to pick it up and look for the dribble. Relating Wave's touch puts it in front of his own box. Virtuoso to the far side for Metz and Yukio to try to challenge it off of his hood. Astral back down. Looked like he was trying to give it to Yukio, but Yukio already retreating, won't be there. Now caught in the midfield once more. Violent Panda trying to do this by himself. Astral on the far side, but he's already positioned for the air dribble instead of the pass. He'll get a boost steal on his way out, but the ball now in his own third. Here comes a shot. Nearly the pinch off the post, sends it onto the ceiling and then back to midfielding. Here comes Relating Wave away. What a turnaround.
And that is exactly why you hustle back to net in every scenario. As Astral, he was turning and burning all the way back the other way because he knew that his teammates were going to be in trouble. And when you get a little bit lazy in the midfield because you have a little too much faith and things go wrong, you don't make it back. And you're down 2-1 with about a minute left. Huge hustle play from Astral.
49 seconds on the clock. In the final minute, tied up at 1 apiece. In a very even series, Relating Wave tries. Violent Panda gets himself a savior medal to keep the game even. A follow-up shot from Virtuoso blocked by Astral, and now Violent Panda to put it onto his hood. Try and get the dribble. Relating Wave will take it away. Now, can he work with Metzenaris? Metzenaris, 75 boost in the tank. Now back in the midfield. Play to the wall. The Dignitas defense holds. Astral nearly connects. Yukio's shot is wide. Violent Panda a bump onto a goalie, but Metzenaris versus Yukio in the corner. There's the pass. Astral's up for it, nearly finds it, but Relating Wave, a counter savior medal here. 8 seconds left. Dignitas, a few last moments of opportunity. Small pass, no one there. Virtuoso lofts it. Relating Wave will try to challenge, but it'll go to the ground. Hits the corner instead, and has still not touched the floor. There will finally go down. Overtime's 2 games in a row.
And hopefully this kickoff goes a little bit better for Dignitas than last time, and indeed it will. Free ball for Yukio.
Pass down. Astral to the corner. Violent Panda challenging. Onto the backboard. Virtuoso now back in front of the box. Astral there, shoots. Blocked. Relating Wave gets in the way.
Oh, no.
Violent Panda to Yukio. Relating Wave again with the stop. That's Naris. Lofted. Virtuoso. What a dunk. The read from a mile away. But the ball still in the Endpoint corner.
Oops, that one slipped through. That's not good.
No, it does not make contact. That'll leave a little bit of an opening here. Relating Wave, the pass outward. Might be enough. Astral just puts the brakes on him. Virtuoso Relating Wave, get back in time. He needed to shoot, and he didn't. Now Relating Wave's counter touch all the way down the field. The only goal in this game, Relating Wave from his own corner. Nearly puts in a second one to win it.
The icy stare of those two defenders as Astral hits the brakes and says, I'm gonna flick it far post. Are you gonna dive? And they're just like, no, you won't. And they just got crushed. Astral is doing everything right on that approach. Virtuoso with a shot denied by Violent Panda. Metza with a follow through off the crossbar. Relating Wave will muscle it home. The defense gets it done early, and then the offense capitalizes.
Relating Wave has scored every goal for Endpoint this series. 5 in a row, 2 overtime winners. How many saves did he get in game 1? 3?
Wow.
He's had 7 so far?
I wish I could tell you off the top of my head. He's having a day, though.
This is an all-star performance from Relating Wave. And they nearly got a second pinch goal in overtime to win it there from their other corner. Endpoint, the series of their life so far, 2 games up now, but unfortunately, they've been playing a lot of best of 5s. This now, the best of 7, the marathon. They've got to win 2 more. They're not on match point just yet.
And that's the tough thing. That's why I think it's going to favor Dignitas. You know, these are 2 incredibly close games, and to be honest, Dignitas could have easily won both. Astral, I do not foresee Endpoint being able to continue to just stonewall stare at Astral and just call his bluff every time, because Astral is one of those players that will just relentlessly, and he makes you think about what you're going to do on defense. And the fact that Endpoint has just looked him in the eye and said, you don't have anything, so many times in this series in the first 2 games is dangerous. Astral will start putting the ball away.
I don't know, but he didn't have anything either time. Like it's the only thing.
He did. He had that flick on that last opportunity, because if he shoots it, they're dead. But that's exactly what he's preying on, because he knows they can save the flick. And the fact that they know that he knows that they know is the beautiful mind game that is defense.
He just starts going for it. And it could genuinely start turning the other way around. I'm waiting for the Dignitas players to open up. We've seen the pass play. We've seen a little bit of solo effort, but mostly it has been, he just holds them down. Violent Panda comes across, and we'll get the stop. And now, the transition onto offense. Here's Astral to the air. The struggle to get control after hitting the ceiling. Relating Wave. Back down. Opts for ball control over the boost. Gets the flick. Yukio has to stretch to the crossbar. He'll get the save in the clear, and now the transition back to midfield. Here comes Relating Wave. They'll double taps it off the backboard. And in. Relating Wave having the day of his life.
Oh my goodness. Put another one in the score column for him. Metza into the middle. Virtuoso with the bump. Violent Panda, good luck. No chance. Top corner. What a beautiful play from Endpoint, and they start off game 3 with a bang.
This might be the end point of Dignitas' spring series career if they can't find a way to shut down Relating Wave. My goodness. Double demolition in the midfield. Momentary 2v2. Mets tries to get it back to Relating Wave. He was a little bit loose on the wall. There's Virtuoso over the top of one. Metzenaris on the far side nearly had that interception on what would have been a completely open net. Relating Wave with a stop on one. The turnaround onto the wall. Clean ball control pass, too. Just leaving Violent Panda alone. Tries to find the dunk on him. Now here comes Virtuoso for a shot. Yukio can't quite get in the way, but the ball was wide of the net. Now Astral. Violent Panda on the flank. Will pinch it off of his bumper. Send it to the side. Now on this edge. Here's Virtuoso again. Through 2 in front of the box. Astral up, lofted. Violent Panda not going to make contact. Here comes Yukio. Relating Wave on the goal line. Another save.
And they're having to work real hard on that Endpoint side to stop Dignitas from having extended stays on offense. A lot of pressure being put on as they continue to try and increase the pace over on the Dignitas half. You noticed it back in game 2. They really started to try and get real aggressive and match that same speed that Virtuoso and Relating Wave are having in the midfield.
Virtuoso out of his net. Relating Wave to the sky. Violent Panda. Try to drop it back to Yukio. There's Astral in front of the box looking for the pass. Yukio loses control though. Relating Wave will have to play it over that midfield line. Astral just dribbles it all the way back up onto the ceiling. Sets up Violent Panda. The ball will cross the net. Relating Wave just adds some pace to it. Yukio going to be a little bit caught out of position. Virtuoso holding some people down in the midfield. Will give some space. Endpoint now advancing on to offense again. A nice challenge from Virtuoso. Astral will look for Violent Panda on the far wall. Relating Wave and Metanaris in their back third. Astral now back down. Here's Metanaris. Looking for the dribble. Yukio gets it past him. Yukio now out of boost. Virtuoso goes for the slow play. Violent Panda manages to make just enough contact to get it off of his hood before being out of rotation and having to circle back. Here comes Relating Wave now into the corner. Astral, a touch out. Here's Metanaris. Yukio wins the challenge. Virtuoso, lots of time on the back line. Comes in, scoops it up, clears it out. 1:44 left to go. And Endpoint holding on to that 1-goal lead.
You can see the Dignitas are having struggles to really set up their own type of game plan as well, as there's that demo on the back line again, because they're having to increase that pace of play so much just to take all of these challenges at the midfield line and up high in the air that they don't ever really have the space to get any of those passes going. And it's making it real tough. It's relying purely on the mechanics of Astral, Yukio, and Violent Panda to get the ball through the defenders.
With a nice long touch near the ceiling, full clear. Astral demolished on the far side will relieve some of the pressure that Yukio was trying to build with that clear.
Well, Astral.
Attempt. Here's Astral with the shot to the far side, and again, just giving Dignitas any space in front of this box is disaster for Endpoint.
Oh, big ups to Violent Panda as well. I mean, that ball was scorched towards that side wall. And the fact he made the read the quickest, and to follow it up, made a perfect pass off the backboard. Nobody on Endpoint is expecting that good of a touch from Violent Panda to come out through a ball is hit that hard off the side wall. And Astral, another tough read that he struck well.
Well, they had to score if we were to get to our third overtime. So Endpoint here, this is the drill for them. Up on top, Yukio will hold on to this. I believe we have yet to have more than a 1-goal lead at any point in this series. We spent most of it at a tie scoreline.
Yeah.
These even teams. Metanaris breathing so much life into this Endpoint roster. Astral. Pick it up. Violent Panda with the extension. Astral looking to be of help. Yukio now with a golden opportunity. Virtuoso gets up and gets the block. Astral with the follow-up, though, and it's in. 10 seconds left, and Dignitas has the lead.
And here's where you get put in a tough spot. Metza, to say the least, it's a suboptimal approach to a ball when you're forced to pop it off your own backboard or own goal. And unfortunately, the pressure came through on Dignitas. They smell blood. And again, Astral nails the perfect shot. Force and accuracy, make it another one, and that will put it out of reach.
And there is the room for error on Endpoint. It's so slim. Virtuoso on the extreme cheat there. And Metanaris going for the corner boost leaves the goal wide open. An easy security blanket for Dignitas here. 7 seconds left in the game, down by 2. We've seen this comeback already once today.
True.
But it still was
slim.
Highly unlikely even in that moment, and now it is impossible in this game. Dignitas come back in game 3 and get a win, and they're on the board.
And a much-needed win for Dignitas indeed. You do have a little bit of extra room to come back with in the best of 7, as usual. But going down 3-0 is definitely asking for the real gauntlet there. And Relating Wave continuing to top the scoreboard here, but significantly reduced effectiveness compared to games 1 and 2. For once, only able to find the back of the goal one time, believe it or not. And unfortunately for them, Astral was on fire with his shooting in this game. But Violent Panda, both of those assists were massive plays. So well done to Violent Panda for putting the ball in some great positions for one of their best strikers.
Yeah, the Violent Panda's passes so reliable, so consistent in Astral shooting here with the hat trick for Dignitas, get them their first win. And I mean, this is what you spoke to earlier, though. You feel like the series being a best of 7 does favor Dignitas. They're a team that is used to having, or it has been through in this situation more often, and the veteran nature of those players, they're used to being down in these situations, figuring out, okay, like, how do we not get tilted? How do we keep our mental game strong and find a way to get back into this series? Drop 2 games early, winning game 3, super strong. I feel like any advantage the Endpoint was really building with those first 2 wins, they still have the lead in the series, but there's no extra mental edge or momentum at this point. Dignitas easily wipes that out. Dignitas a hard team to build momentum against.
Yeah, exactly. You really, if you want to feel good, if you're Endpoint, you kind of need to give yourself a lot of room to work with. Give yourself 3 games. You got to come out with a win here. 2-2. The series is up in the air. Anything could happen. And Dignitas, it's that experience combined with the time to adapt to an incredibly aggressive play style. They can get there, no doubt, but for sure, Endpoint are making them work every step of the way. It is taking perfection from Dignitas to crack this Endpoint defense.
Dignitas here will look to try and even the series on Urban Central. Shot from Yukio on the far wall. Metsunaris will stretch for it. Difficult shot to make, but not that difficult of a shot to block. Astral now will try to slow this down. Metsunaris muscles it through 1. Yukio scoops it up on the ground and punts it to midfield. Now onto the backboard. Relating Wave doesn't really make contact. Astral will just take the shot straight downtown, and Metsunaris is able to throw his car in the way. Now with the dribble. Over the top of 2 to the goal all the way. Metsunaris just gets the monster flick for goal number 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see this one work its way through the 3 defenders. They're all kind of at the same part of the field, actually. All relatively close to that midfield line. I think Mets just kind of figured, well, hey, if I get the power on it, odds are it beats the people right in front of me. Maybe there's nobody back, and he was right.
Violent Panda has the way cleared for him here on kickoff. Relating Wave will find the block before being demolished. Now onto the backboard. Nobody really home. Virtuoso gets up in time to block Astral. An excellent stop. And now Metsunaris looking for the counterattack. No boost for the follow-up here. And Yukio will clear it away anyways. But Virtuoso now on the far edge. Seeing if he can find this pass down to Relating Wave. Actually gets a decent setup, but Relating Wave had already backed off. So the ball now on the other end of the field. Relating Wave on his backboard will look for a clear.
Oh,
and it
no.
might be in. Okay. Violent Panda gets back. That one sails from his goal and gets past the front line defense. Violent Panda in the midfield neutralized. Metsunaris now looking against Yukio. Yukio low on boost maybe. Takes his time reaching for that ball.
Violent Panda wishes he could have that touch back. It was a great opportunity. There was actually a little bit of a gap to work with there for Dignitas when it came to passing. And here they double commit in the corner, and now it's damage control.
Oh, the respawn came in directly underneath the pile as well. Relating Wave gets into goal and gets it away, but Astral continues to put pressure on. Yukio tries to hold down the defenders. Relating Wave will cover it up. Now Virtuoso in net. Just did not believe. Man, you talked about this earlier, kind of a lack of respect for Astral. I feel like that's just continued here from Endpoint, and it's not... I don't think that's what hurt them, though, in Game 3. Astral just scored well. Especially on some brilliant passes.
Yeah, Astral 100% just put in some perfect shots in Game 3, but whenever it's Astral on the dribble, where he's got the opportunity to make defenders miss instead of just shoot the ball with precision, that's really where Endpoint has excelled in terms of stopping him.
Metsunaris back down. Front of the box.
Oh, dear.
Plays Relating Wave.
Oh, you're kidding!
Back off the crossbar. Metsunaris up and makes the block. Savior medal for Metsunaris in Game 4. Astral now to try and get one more setup with Violent Panda in front of the box. Now Yukio wraps around. Final attempt. Shots on target, but Metsunaris has the clear. Relating Wave, the extension. This one looks almost good, and Violent Panda will reach for it and push it to his corner.
What can Endpoint not do on defense? Virtuoso had the quickest inside-out save, made the first one, drove up the back, stopped the second one. Metsunaris cleared the third one. They get this one off the pinch. They're making some great clears off of the balls in difficult situations on the backboards and in the corners. Endpoint, it's just... I'm amazed that they've been able to just lock down Dignitas and stop all forms of scoring here in this game.
Relating Wave nearly puts in, I believe, his 6th goal. As Metsunaris scored goal number 1 in this game, which was the first non-Relating Wave goal for Endpoint. Astral back down, relating wave now, looking for another one. That was 2 players out. Metanaris has to be careful, finds a nice clear up. Pushes it away, relating wave now. Onto the backboard once more. Yukio will find a clear, Virtuoso will pick it up.
A little bit of space to work with here again in the midfield. It is a race. The Dignitas have put Relating Wave on his own in the backfield, and he makes 2 people miss. Oh my goodness. Talk about buying time.
46 seconds left. Endpoint trying to take that 3rd game, but here comes some pressure. Metanaris, what a clear to get it past 2. The follow from Astral to the far post. Oh no! It's off the post on the worst of bounces, and Relating Wave scores his 7th goal, but in the wrong net.
In the wrong net is right. Astral, to be fair, that shot placement was indeed required. That was the only lane to the back post in the low corner of the goal, and he missed it. But how can you know that as the Endpoint defense diving across to try and save the shot? And you are right, the perfect storm of disaster.
It is the unreadable bounce. It's so difficult to predict that bounce is going to come out at that angle. The straight 180 directly back out at you. There's 17 seconds left. Overtime again. Number 3, how about it? We're almost there. Endpoint going to try and finish this in regulation. Virtuoso in the enemy net. His favorite place where he is most comfortable. 3 seconds now. Astral and Yukio on the far side. Virtuoso bounces it off the ground. This one should hit, and we'll go to overtime in game number 4. Endpoint looking for match point.
And here's where you really got to show your mettle and your mental toughness if you're Endpoint. That ball, you almost feel betrayed at the end of regulation with a goal that you concede like that. But here's the time to rally back and come up with a huge win here and put the torch to Dignitas. Another crazy bounce, and this one goes straight to Violent Panda, and it's 2-2.
Oh my goodness, what a series. To be fair, this bounce, it's a crazy bounce, but I feel that it should have been in the first place. Yes. Violent Panda says thank you, Rocket League. We'll take that one. And Dignitas, two outlier goals here give them the lead in this game, and we'll be tied up in the series.
Oh, tough break there for Endpoint. What can you do? You felt like you should have had it. It slips away in the final moments, and to make matters worse, Astral actually beats the defense finally. He misses a shot, but it's okay. He's got teammates behind him to clean up, and Dignitas have battled all the way back here despite losing 2 tight games early on in the series. So well done to Dignitas. I'm curious to see if they continue to have to work to come from behind, because Endpoint were playing some fantastic defense in this game 4. It absolutely would have been the MVP and the reason they won. Unfortunately, though, what can you do? The fluke to concede and then a beautiful play beats you in overtime. You just got to shake it off and move on to game 5.
Yeah, no, and that if that's what it takes for Dignitas to beat Endpoint, I'm not confident in this Dignitas roster. I feel like Endpoint will find 2 more wins in this series, because there won't be that post bounce can't keep happening here for Dignitas. And I want to talk about, like Relating Wave was the player of the series up until this match. How about Metanaris there? 1 goal, 5 saves, really putting the team on his back here. And if every player is having the ability to stand up and have a clutch solo performance like that, I mean, Endpoint is going to be extremely strong, and I'm almost looking forward to the rematch against Vitality. So we'll see what happens here as we get into game number 5. And this game will give one of these teams match point.
And it allows you to talk a little bit about what you feel Metanaris has brought to this team. And a large part of that is just the consistency. When you have a player that was so good in the midfield when he was back with TSM, and it allows a team to be more adventurous is the phrase I will use in how they approach the offense, because you know that you've got a lockdown rock there behind you somewhere in the midfield filling in all the gaps like Metanaris. He's a wonderful glue player. Says, you guys do whatever you want. I can be anything you want me to be, and he does a great job of that on this Endpoint roster.
Metanaris here with the changed his paint job up, but Violent Panda finds the first goal of the game. Right here, just blazes it in 78 kilometers per hour.
Oh yeah, that one just slips through 2 people in the midfield, and it fortunately bounces right on his nose. And Violent Panda took it and ran with it, and that is a scorcher. Off the bar, down and in. Tough save for anybody.
Yukio out of the corner. Dignitas has been playing from behind for most of this series. now with an early lead. How does that change how they play? Astral off the ceiling. Still with the flip to work with. Doesn't choose to use it. Places it to the ground, and Relating Wave will take it to the air. Virtuoso hounding the goalie out of net. He's still chasing them both down, and it still goes in! Virtuoso just causes absolute chaos, and Relating Wave ties it.
And Relating Wave, this was a delicate flip reset. Oh, man. Just caressing that ball down with the wheels, let it fall a little bit further, then hits it with a torque right towards the middle, right side of that goal with the chaos behind them with Virtuoso being caused. The combination of chaos and finesse.
I love it. Virtuoso's like a sheepdog, just herding them away. Just nope, you're over here now, nipping at their heels, not letting them think about where that ball's going. And then followed up with a great shot there, a tie game here for Endpoint. Relating Wave to drop it down. Metzenaris wants to come on in. A soft touch. Astral tries to reach for it, actually misses. This lead Violent Panda alone with the ball in his own corner. He'll take it to the air over the top of one player. Now Violent Panda leaving it for Yukio. Virtuoso chose to pull far back. Violent Panda with the shot, and then a save from Metzenaris. Again, the follow-up thing. Oh no! Astral, what a shot! They take the lead back.
Yukio has a chance for the double tap. Violent Panda puts it on target. Astral catches the rebound, and that is pixels from being in before the save even happens. Relating Wave gets the piece, but not enough. Astral finally is starting to get some balls to cross the goal line.
They've got the lead right back here with 3 minutes left to go. Yukio rotate back. Virtuoso to the sky. Relating Wave chills out a bit, lofted high.
Oh dear.
Violent Panda just sends the rocket. And the shield materializes for Endpoint here. 2:47 on the clock. Virtuoso with control. Metzenaris in tow. They'll play it to the corner. And now around, just a full wrap. Ball will stay above the goal. No player to crash on in. Virtuoso looks for some bumps. Yukio not able to reach it there. Decently strong positioning here from Endpoint. Here comes Relating Wave onto the backboard again. No one home. Here comes Virtuoso, and he tucks it into the corner. There's a tie game.
This was just where Dignitas needed Yukio to come up with that first touch right as that replay started in the corner. They all have low boost. They can't go up the wall because they don't have the boost to cover the distance in time to defend the shot high in the net. They just have to hope that they have time to readjust in front of the goal line. And unfortunately for them, Virtuoso was not having any of it.
Right here at halftime. Tied on up. There's been such an even series. That's Naris out of his corner. Virtuoso. Through two. Now to the edge. Virtuoso looking for more bumps for Yukio. Takes to the air. I can see Dignitas moving to just more and more of an aerial game to stay away from the aggressive bumper of Virtuoso. Yukio finds a demolition though. No one's home. He's just able just to pop it in himself. That's the lead right back.
Yeah, give them a taste of their own medicine here. Yukio just goes for a challenge, says, oh, I'll go steal the... Never mind, I'm going to kill the guy in the goal. He takes him out. Astral wins the challenge. Pops right back in front of Yukio, and Dignitas again with the lead.
1:55 now. Time continuing to expire, and as Endpoint seems to come back into things, Dignitas just takes the lead right back. Metzenaris now with the trap, sends it towards the goal. Both defenders bite. Relating Wave gets it past both of them, and it's just in. Doesn't even need Virtuoso's help. 3-all.
Had to get all the way around this one. Metza just trying to win a couple challenges, but a double commit. Violent Panda comes out of the goal, and Yukio goes at the same time. Violent Panda thinking that his touch is going to be a much more beneficial touch for the defense, and probably it would. But that's the unfortunate thing about how fast-paced Rocket League is. You don't have the time to really communicate that plan. The player in the back just goes for it. They get in each other's way, and Relating Wave capitalizes on the mistake.
Astral pass one. Virtuoso now. To the midfield. Metzenaris going to try. Endpoint have been arguably the stronger team this series overall, but they have yet to have the lead here in game 4 as Dignitas continues to play well. Yukio with a stop. What a side flip ballet move to keep that one out. Now back in. Yukio to the edge. Relating Wave. Long ways down. Into the final minute, tied up. in our highest scoring game of the series.
And it slowed down a little bit here in the final minute. Everybody kind of backing off and making sure that they don't concede, and very likely to see another overtime. Why not? Let's go 4 out of 5.
They're up Violent Panda over the top of one. Virtuoso back to midfield. Violent Panda. Now Yukio beaten though. This one dangerous. And this crossbar down. 28 seconds left, and Endpoint's got the lead.
One challenge. Violent Panda trying to go for the cheeky little tip into the midfield. Unfortunately, it's a little too close to the defense. Yukio trying to cover the gap because he knows if he backs off, he's going to get scorched on the 2-on-1. Tries to close it, can't get there, and Relating Wave gets the crossbar down and in.
Oh, but they're not done yet.
Oh,
Yukio bounces it off the crossbar, bounces it off the goal line, and a Relating Wave finds the clear. 15 seconds left. The ball's still dangerous. Violent Panda's pass. Yukio's shot going in. 4-0 with 11 to go.
Oh, Yukio, this time he's able to get there. Violent Panda says, no fear. This one's on the money, away from the defense. And Yukio with a bullet into the lower right-hand side. You can't make it up.
This has been a crazy game. Metzenaris versus Yukio on the kickoff. Virtuoso now advancing here. Violent Panda lost it high, but it could still go in. Anything could happen at this point. It's Relating Wave into the middle. Metzenaris up to the backboard for the win.
Oh, no,
Can
he
he do
missed.
it? No. Overtime in game 5.
Oh, he had a chance. That top left corner was calling. Unfortunately, Metzenaris can't squeeze it in under the bar and inside the post, and we've got 4th overtime here in the series.
There's been any doubt that these are the 2 of the top 3 teams in this tournament. This series has completely quenched it. Metzenaris gets one block, finds a second one as well. They aren't in position to move down the field, and the ball will stay in the blue. But after the second touch from midfield, from Dignitas, there was an opportunity. Now Astral over the top of 2. It's open. Can Yukio get there? No, Relating Wave coming back on defense. The retreating save. And now Violent Panda with the attempt taken away. Virtuoso gets in his way, and now Relating Wave and try and challenge Astral. Gets the read on him, gets the bump on him too, but Astral maintains control. Relating Wave will just add a little bit of pace to it. Yukio tries to drop it down, and there goes Relating Wave back away. And Virtuoso with the attempt as well. In the first minute of overtime, absolute lightning on both sides.
Yukio just couldn't quite square that one up. And Metzenaris was definitely put in a real bad spot. There's a pinch that favors Dignitas. Relating Wave will dive across and clear it off the backboard. Metza will lend a helping hand. And this overtime, you're right, lightning. Virtuoso denied.
Virtuoso somehow was exactly where he needed to be, high on the ceiling wall. Now Astral on the backboard. Metzenaris demolished in the midfield. Just means Virtuoso can go for free. Metzenaris lofted. Astral, the challenge from his corner, finds a second touch, put it on the backboard. Relating Wave with the long clear. Virtuoso tries to reach for it, but Yukio gets there. Relating Wave can't dismount the wall. Now Metzenaris going to be up to him in the midfield. He'll look for Virtuoso on the far side, into the corner. Metzenaris still Relating Wave. No, Astral gets in the way. Relating Wave now back to Metzenaris in front of the box. Yukio.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Pushed out. Here comes the Virtuoso. Grounded. He couldn't read it though.
Fortunate.
Wave. The attempts. Here's Metzenaris. Looking for the win. The double tap. Does he have enough? No, he's under the ball. Here comes Relating Wave with the fake. Virtuoso took the shot. Astral will find the stop. And Dignitas will look for a semblance of ball control in enemy territory here. Yukio onto the post. Virtuoso gets it away as Astral's too far back. That overtime safety.
And Endpoint have been caught in a couple of situations in this overtime in the past minute or so, where if they had boost, they had him dead. But Yukio has a chance on the breakaway, goes for the slow shot, and beats the last man. Metza was scrambling back. He was thinking that Yukio was just going to try and get this in there as soon as possible. Unfortunately, he let it bounce and come to him just a little bit longer, and Metz couldn't adjust. Dignitas with the lead.
My goodness. You know what's crazy? What's crazy achievable about that final goal is Virtuoso flies out of his half because Yukio is the last player back. And he misses him on the demo by a pixel. And if he had gotten it, Endpoint would have scored. But because he missed the demo, Yukio runs down the field and scores on the other side. Like, are you kidding me? Like, the demo was that important in that moment? Like, it literally would have changed the game?
Well, you talked about it. Endpoint plays a style that runs on a razor-thin edge between disaster and success. And unfortunately here, the disaster got him into trouble in overtime. And even worse, they're now on match point in the series because Yukio just stole that one away.
And even worse, Dignitas has momentum right now. And if this was a best of 5, Endpoint just got reverse swept, and Dignitas is feeling hot. Yukio puts up 3 goals this time. We've seen hat tricks and carries, MVPs from multiple players now as they've won 3 in a row. So we go into game 6. I'm shaking in my boots if I'm Endpoint. You can't change it. You got to keep living on that razor's edge, and man, that's a terrifying thought.
That is the unfortunate reality of a game like Rocket League. It is a game that demands perfection, and whether you execute or not, you have to live with whatever the outcome is. And here in Game 6, Endpoint sure are hoping it's them, but it starts off horribly. Metza gets bumped by Violent Panda, and a forced own goal.
3 seconds in. There's a goal. Endpoint already having to play from behind. Well, I'm not worried at all that they're not going to be able to tie this up. It's a matter of can they hold on to the lead. I don't think Endpoint is at any point led by more than 1 goal in this series. The only 2-goal lead I believe we've had at any point was at the end of Game 3 from Dignitas. So a very close series. Endpoint, even if they tie this up, even if they get the lead, there is no room for comfort, especially knowing you've got to get it to Game 7 right now.
Yes.
Violent Panda now looking for a second goal. Virtuoso with a stop. Relating wave comes on in. Now Metzenaris will look for his teammate. He's got enough boost to reach for the shot, but what a read. Astral's right there. Understanding where that pass was going, he'll block it.
Ooh, and Virtuoso, this is a delicate balancing act required here on the goal line. They're all kind of rotating back at the same time, and this means Dignitas gets a lot of field position here, and some subpar touches are allowing the pressure to build.
Virtuoso's clear is not the best. Metzenaris will go to help it, but Astral has a read onto the backboard. This one just a little bit too much power. It'll reach past Violent Panda. Now relating wave to the upper 90 with the attempt. Not going to be there. Violent Panda.
Oh dear.
He's got it through the back line. Can they get back in time? Wasn't able to find a shot. Had to go for the pass, which means the defense does have time to get back and in the way.
Oh,
now relating wave. Small miss from Astral means the ball goes into Dignitas half.
I'm amazed he even went for that.
He's up for another one here. Dignitas, you know, they've got that momentum. They've got that energy. Ooh. Go for the crazy plays. Nice infield pass, and it goes down. I believe Virtuoso stole this on the goal line.
It's possible, but either way, Dignitas, they get a taste of their own medicine. That is 100% what it looks like when Dignitas is passing against you with space, and they just had to deal with it. And perfect execution. Metzenaris slung one towards the top of the goal. Crossbar down, and Virtuoso will take the extra points.
Yeah, he was happy to have that one. That's the tie game that we knew was inevitable. Now what happens next? Metzenaris in. Through one, Yukio retreating. Slow play to his corner. Pick up his own boost. Couldn't get it past 2, though. Relating wave with the attempt now. Astral get out of his goal. Metzenaris up, stops the advance. Astral tries to adjust, but actually takes too long getting control of that ball. Lucky for him, the rest of his team able to work together as a tandem.
Oh, that worked.
Now Virtuoso back in front. Yukio's up for it. Blocked just enough by Relating wave. We approach halftime. Virtuoso will try to trap it on the wall, and these midfield challenges. What in the world?
Astral, you're kidding!
So good. He goes for it again. It takes the save to keep him away.
And Astral is just making reads at lightning fast speed and putting a ton of pressure on that Endpoint defense that has just been so effective. But Yukio gets him with the fake and tears him apart.
You're kidding me. What? The fake is so clean, but he still has to hit this razor-thin shot to sneak it around that post. Metzenaris would be right there to push it away, and that's the lead back for Dignitas. Wow.
Brutal for Endpoint. You're playing so well, but Yukio, Violent Panda, Astral, they're all throwing so many things out of the bag of tricks at you that they just can't quite handle it. And again, they're playing from behind with 2 minutes left.
I have no doubt they can tie this.
Oh my gosh! If that's a goal.
Oh! Violent Panda drops it from Astral's pass. And
Look
that's
at that.
a 2-goal lead.
Astral wave dashed on the wall to gain speed to beat the defender in the midfield and get that ball around into the middle. Combined with the misclear, Violent Panda nails it.
Astral is having an insane day. And Violent Panda's here to happily clean things up. And now a 2-goal lead, which might not sound like much, but in this series, it's everything.
It is. That's gold.
Can they hold on to it? Can we see last-minute heroics from Endpoint? They weren't able to bring it back in Game 3. Minute and 30 left to go. Plenty of time and plenty of skills and power. But is the consistency of Dignitas just too much here? Relating wave. Keeping it high, holding on to it himself, trying to give it to Virtuoso, or rather Metanaris. We're back. Relating wave, Yukio puts it in front of the box. Metanaris will get it away. Now relating wave back at the midfield line, and Astral will stall it out. More scary looks for Dignitas.
And I feel like you can start seeing the cracks in that Endpoint mentality. They know that that 2-goal lead is massive, considering goals and leads coming at a premium in this series, and now they're really going to start to try and push things into high gear. And now you're going to start seeing all the mind games from Dignitas to work it by defenders.
And everything in this game, as intense as it is only building to the climax that comes after this. The grand finals versus Vitality. Dignitas versus Vitality has become the classic match in Europe and one of the classic matches in all of Rocket League. 20 seconds away from seeing it played again. Virtuoso to Metanaris, back to Virtuoso, looks for the shot just wide. Violent Panda will hold on to it, and you can see Dignitas has switched into time-killing mode. 10 seconds left, Relating Wave tries, and Yukio gets it over the top of him. That dunk should do it. 5 seconds left. They have no semblance of ball control. Dignitas had to rally 4 games straight all the way back, but they will get the rematch against Vitality to become Spring Series champions. We'll see that match here in just a moment.
What a series this one was. Endpoint, unfortunately, I think they were perhaps the most